Yeah. Yo, what's happening? My bad. Because a message popped up about muting and unmuting. I'm like, oh wait, what happened? Oh, but hey, be that as it may, it don't even matter. What matters is, man, the road to SummerSlam. We accelerating. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to heat up a tad bit.
We are.
Yeah. No, I would say so. I would say so. And hey, look, hey, that's why we got the show, right? That's why we got this show, so we can talk about it. I believe the road to SummerSlam is starting to heat up now. Is it fever pitch? No. Are we doing like 95 in the slow lane? No. For everybody that don't know how to use their car. But I do think we have more developments that's going to shape it up to be pretty damn good so far. That's what I will say. But hey, I'm only going to say it on one spot and one spot only, and that is on the number one podcast for talking about wrestling like nobody else in the world, and that podcast happens to be the first Black Champ podcast, and I'm still the pick. Yeah. Hey, Sammy, your days they numbered too, bro. It's back to me again. All right. Camp from the port.
And I am JR Bang. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download wherever you get your favorite podcast. Barbershop Network is the home. So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to them and listen to all episodes of First Black Champ. Make sure you go up in the search, hashtag FBCPOD, and you can listen to all of the episodes. Make sure you follow us on everything, FBCPOD, and you see Camp got on the hoodie. Hey, before you know it, it'll be the fall. Go ahead and start playing with your life and get ready, and go ahead and get that merch and kick it with us anytime we are on. You can follow us on all platforms. Let's go ahead and get started, man. Cody Rhodes and a friend of Cody's have gotten their ass whooped again.
Yes, sir.
It seems like every time we see an ending of Smackdown, a friend of Cody's is getting his ass whooped. Randy Orton last week, Kevin Owens after coming back, thankful that his mom is good, but he came back to getting his ass beat, which feels like we're gonna have a tag team match at SummerSlam, if healthy. That's going to pit the Bloodline or the good members of the Bloodline because Camacho is not good for shit. And as I've said on this show before, as I said to the homies before, I'm not calling him by his New Japan name until he earns it. He comes back in the WWE, he's Camacho until he ain't. He's Camacho, y'all. He's everything he's doing is Camacho like. He missing nut shots. He getting his ass beat.
Wow.
Oh yeah, he missed. Yeah, pause. But yeah, he missed that one nut shot. How do you miss that? Ric Flair has told y'all and showed y'all how to do and he couldn't do it. He flubbed his debut a little bit.
Yeah.
He's Camacho until otherwise noted. He's Camacho the Uber, the black Uber driver.
Hey, Camacho the Uber black driver is crazy.
Yeah. Camacho
hey,
Uber
you
black.
call the Uber X? Okay.
That's me. It's like, JR, all right, let me get your bags. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I had high hopes. But he's Camacho again.
No,
without Hunico. So that being said, he was the one who got his ass whooped. He was the sacrificial lamb, or at least as I was.
Yeah.
While the other members of the Bloodline was whooping Cody and Kevin's ass. And Randy Orton and Cody the week before that. So who needs to help Cody now? Or does Cody need to just figure this shit out alone? Because he don't need none of his friends getting their ass whooped no more.
Yeah. Well, you know, this past SmackDown, we saw Crash Out Cody, right? Crash Out Cody. He didn't show up with the suit on. He didn't show up like he was a champ at all. It was almost like the belt was a prop. like he was prepared to use it in battle or something like that. He came out there like middle class Sandman or somebody. You know what I mean? And he's like upper middle class Sandman
Hey
with the
man,
belt instead of a beard.
middle class Sandman is wild, considering that nigga was on ECW with his family. My head just.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, so the middle class Sandman, look, had the clean T-shirt, new merch,
Oh man,
jeans and the shoes, but he had the belt like he had the beard. Like he was just holding it. Like he just waiting to like it's not really gonna get used. What's gonna get used by him, you know what I mean? But it's like, man. And he automatically won the 2-on-1 handicap match. Yeah, I'm like, okay. I was like, yeah, bro. hey, yeah. Yeah, Jeans Day. Your teacher, when they know they got the Institute Day.
It's
they're not
teacher
really trying to
Institute
get
Day.
dressed.
Yeah, it's just report card pickup. Ain't nobody come to talk to me. I'm just go ahead and fix the equipment. That's what I'm here for.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man. And so with that, you know, you kind of seen the writing on the wall. It's like, okay, Cody is just going to use the family angle. Like that's just Cody's angle. He can't just be cool with people and leave them at an arm's distance. Like everybody family. Now Randy this family. You know what I'm saying? Now it's Randy Rhodes. Now right? You know what I'm saying? And now it's gonna be Kevin Owens Rhodes next week when he come back. And since we're gonna use the family angle, Cody's officially the scammer cousin that get everybody jammed up. Since everybody want to be family, now you the family member that now we don't know if we trust because we either expect to go to jail or we expect to get in some altercation because you said, let's walk up here real quick. Like, no, because we can't do that. Grown ass man now. Sorry, it's just not going to work. Cody can't phone a friend. He can't because one, SummerSlam is too close. And then two, I don't want nobody else involved in this. I'm honestly tired of Team RKO being involved in this extended new bloodline story. I'm over all this. At anybody that gets added to it now, either they got to face Solo or they got to get killed by Jacob, and Cody's already offered to occupy both of those spots. So I'm good. He can't phone nobody if you want my personal thoughts on it.
I mean, he ain't got to phone nobody because it just feels like either next week or the last Smackdown of before SummerSlam that Jey Uso is going to come through and super kick somebody. It also feels like that's going to happen at SummerSlam. Like, I don't know. But I think you're right. But I also think you're right. Like, nah, I'm just going to sit this one out. Like, Jacob, I almost called him Jacob Uso. Jacob Fatu is whooping everybody's ass. Like, even, we talked about this last episode, y'all. I'm going to mention this again. Solo be getting his ass beat until Jacob come.
Yeah.
He be getting his ass beat. He be getting this shit handed to him, and then Jacob just come out of nowhere, and Corey Graves be like, oh, there you go again. Like, the Samoan werewolf. What's the point of this when he's supposed to be the massive heel? Now, the funny thing about this is that this is really, really feeling like an 80s movie. This was just feeling like. You know what this feels like, Cam?
Yeah.
This feels like let's think of some 80 movies. 80 movies where the lead character is just trying. He go calls the homies, and some shit happened, and he still got to just deal with this shit alone. Movie like Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Right, Roadhouse is a perfect example. Mm-hmm. White guy come to a small town full of white people, try to change up some shit, and he messes with a young chick that just so happens to be the ex-wife of the dude that runs the town. He's in over his head, so he calls his homie, who he learned from, and guess what happens? His homie dies.
Yeah.
It's like Roadhouse for Cody. Like, hey, man, I need you to come help me out. Shit going down here. All right, hey, I got you. And then you get a couple of scenes and shit, some heartwarming scenes where you see brotherhood and all of that stuff. And he ends up dying. And and that's the motivation of this. And that's why I am going to use Roadhouse. Because as Donnie said, this is Rhodes' house. Rhodes' house is Cody Rhodes leaving AEW, come to WWE. He cleans shit up. The dude that runs this place, The Rock, is sending his henchmen around. They ain't getting it done. But then they kind of capitalize on it. You see in over his head, he calls the homie, that's Randy Orton. Randy Orton, some heartwarming scenes. He say, hey, when this is over with, I'm straight. I'm protecting you, Playboy. He ends up getting his ass whooped. Cody got to face this shit alone. This is Rhodes' house, y'all. This is Roadhouse. Same storyline, y'all. We'll see what happened at SummerSlam. If Brad Wesley even comes out, which is The Rock, which that's my expectation. But, man, at this point, it's like an 80s movie. Is there any other 80s movie we could compare this shit to?
Oh, man, I'm trying to think. That Roadhouse is good. I mean, he's already done the reverse of Over the Top. You know what I'm saying? Like, when his mom was involved, but he's instead of the man like Trucker Hawk, instead of him fighting for his son, it's the son fighting for his father. Like, he's already done that. You know what I'm saying? His mom is like, at odds and they're like ill. She's like kind of like ill with it. You know what I mean? I would say, hey, this is also, hey, not for nothing, this is kind of like the Warriors too, because, hey, we started off, hey, everybody gang, 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 but as you keep getting through to New York, like every time we get off the subway, somebody dead.
Hey, what's funny? I watched that the other day. I watched that the other day.
You know what I'm saying?
What's funny about the Warriors is the wife Miriam's knows this. She knows this. If I'm just turning the TV and the Warriors is on, everything stops. Fuck it, we watching it. That's one of the few movies, even though it's not my top movie, where if it comes on though, I'm watching it. Man,
you just gotta watch it, man. Warriors is a good movie, man. Warriors is a good movie. I mess with Warriors super tough. I think an element of this is that as well, because hey, The Rock is the can you nigga, like that's him, and he's sending everybody out there. And the more you, hey, again, look, you gotta be in the crib. You better get to Coney Island, my nigga. Like or else everybody dying out here.
Hey, Keith, you might be right. When you think about this, it's another thing too. Because there's a lot of blaxploitation films where, like, the brothers start helping folks out and then they die. The man kills them. So either way it go, the lead character got to go at this shit on his own.
Hey, Cody Rhodes and Jim Kelly. Hey, Cody Rhodes and Jim Kelly.
Hey man, Cody could be Jim Kelly at this point. He could be Isaac Hayes' he might be Truck Turner. What is that?
That was my next one too. I was like, like he gonna be Truck Turner. You know what I mean?
But the fact of the matter is, like, either way it go, it feels like Triple H them got this shit out of an 80s movie. It's like, we just gonna take all of his friends out. That's what I'm saying. The montage. Now we gotta do the montage. Paul, do the montage.
Yeah.
On next Friday, we need one of these dramatic songs that y'all want to play and use now for these joints. Because look, Let me just say this now, Kemp. I forgot what interview I watched this week. I think it was Cody. And even Cody said, "No, Triple H be on Twitter. He might not be on his account. Got a burner account, but he on Twitter. He on these social networks. You can't tell me Paul ain't watched. You ain't. Paul is probably one of these people who just be popping up and be saying shit here in the comment section. You can't tell me. There's been things we said on this show that has been exactly how we said it. Paul, all I just asked for is a job. I just asked for employment. That's it.
For sure.
Camp too. We would just employ us. We ain't even just employ us. As long as we ain't janitors.
Yeah.
As long as you don't give us black jobs, we're okay.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Give us the black jobs.
Black jobs.
And listen, creative associate.
Yeah.
I'm cool
right.
I'm cool with that. Creative associate.
You listen to the show, you're like, hey, you wanted a job. I'm like, nah, I ain't mean to tell you. I ain't trying to mop the floors in this bitch. Like, job was as big. Like, that's what T.I. and them for. That's what T.I. and them for on ATL. Like, that's
definitely don't give us the 80s black jobs.
No,
they didn't even have, the refs didn't even have shape-ups then.
Oh, yeah. I was watching, before we started, I was watching the Clash of the Champions 1. Teddy Long was out there looking bad. Teddy Long was probably on Clash of the Champions 1, probably like 34 years old. That nigga look like he now.
Easy than the mug.
Yeah, just taper. That's still a question. Like, when did taper start? They didn't start that.
My guess is like 93 because Brothers was rough from about 78 to 91.
Boy, just go look at Ray Ray. I just look like Ray Ray on South Central. Ray Ray was out here. I don't know what they was thinking. They gave that man a bowl cut, and see, that's nasty. All right, freak man alert. We let it pass though. But both of them married, fam. And athletes. They're married to athletes. You can't outrun them. You can't. Especially Bianca's husband. He's a former baseball player. You can't outrun that nigga. Well, maybe. It depends. We digress.
Look, he was also in the military, so no, you can't.
No, Bianca, and he ran track. Yeah, fuck it. You even try to touch one as soon as you do this shit. Them motherfuckers. Yeah. But hey, we digress. Like Cody needs a friend like Louis Gossett Jr. on the principle. That's what he needs. If he go get a friend, he gotta get a Louis Gossett Jr. He just come with the bat, motherfucker. Just and it got he needs something, cause man, it's not just they beat up Cody's friend. They make Cody watch.
Yeah.
Like they like, hey, yo, watch this shit. He go like, yeah, take me.
Right. They be headbutting them. Like, no, look, just shut up and look.
No, shut up and look. Take me instead. That's the only thing I don't like about this shit is that part. The take me instead shit. Yeah. Damn.
You talking about your boy Jarvis? Like, I think it was his name. With that Jarvis on Thea.
Man.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
I mean, quite honestly, none of them had good lines.
You said Jarvis, Jerome, and Jerome. That was Jason Weaver. So he had the decent one because he was gonna be Michael Jackson like 2 months later, and the Jackson's American Dream. So he got the good shape up.
Hey, so and Jason Weaver from Chicago too. He's like, I'm not going on this TV.
Yeah.
Looking like that. So.
Yeah, he's like, no, you can't heat me up. I gotta be right.
I gotta go back home. Home.
Shout
who the fuck cut your hair? Yeah, shout to Jason Weaver. Man, like, but yeah, he need a friend like the principal or something, like Louis Gossett Jr. He need like a henchman. Like he needs somebody that's gonna. No, y'all ain't fucking with him, fam. Y'all got to make this 1-on-1.
Yeah.
If this ain't no 1-on-1, that's it. Like, Cody needs a friend.
Yeah, man. If there was ever a time for a Diesel or a Psycho Sid, the time is now.
Man.
Yo, the time is now.
Yo, where the big man at? Like, where's the tall skyscraper that could have my back and just do this?
Right. It's like, man, don't nobody 6'10" want to wrestle no more? Right. Like, nobody.
Nobody want to help me? Damn, what the fuck, dog? Y'all know who my daddy is, right? So with that being said, I know we're gonna the week before SummerSlam, we'll go ahead and do our predictions and stuff. But that's the only thing I don't like about this storyline at this point. It's, come on, y'all. We gotta stop with Cody trying to sacrifice himself for the good of some shit. Just if his homie get his ass beat, just walk up to his homie and be like, damn, fam. Don't be like, no, take me instead. No. Like, nah, fam. But if we get a good montage out of this, if we get a great montage out of this with some good music, with some great scene cuts and all of that stuff, and Cody Rhodes working out to do what he needs to do to beat the Bloodline in this case, that's great. This still does not seem as dangerous as Roman until I'm not gonna ever pronounce dude's name right. Hikuleo. I'm never gonna pronounce that shit right. I'm just gonna call him Talatanga, which his name is gonna be when he get here. It just feels like if his ass debut in the next 2 weeks, he's getting choke slammed, and it's like, damn. And he replaces Camacho. Now Camacho could really be a Uber black driver. Now, he could be an Uber black driver for real now if this is the case. But yeah, it just feels like two things. It feels like they're going to do all of this for Cody to win because Cody ain't caught one since before goddamn Money in the Bank. Like he's caught an L every week, started with Money in the Bank. So that's one. Two, this does feel like to me that the Tongans they just need their own group now. Once Haku kids come through, they just need their own group, which I don't want. Like, I don't want like a Pacific Islander Civil War. I barely even want a Bloodline Civil War, but I don't want like a Pacific Islander Civil War where you got the Samoans and you got the Tongans and shit. Like, I don't want that. And somebody gonna be on the internet in like 2 months say, "Oh man, we need to have Solo, Jacob, and Roman versus the Tongans." Yeah. And I'm gonna be like, until Camacho proves that he's a Tongan in the WWE, it's not gonna happen. He's Puerto Rican now.
Yeah.
And
for that and outside of that, right now, the Tongans is maybe second match pre-show level right now by themselves. So yeah, that ain't.
So I don't hope that happened. But two, until somebody steps up other than Jacob heavily, I don't even want to see a Bloodline Civil War. I just want to see Jacob versus Roman. If Solo does lose, that just kills any interest I have in Solo going forward as the leader. Nope. I want Jacob versus Roman. Give me that for the rest of the fall, going into the damn winter months. But anything involving that Puerto Rican that's masking as a Tongan, I don't want.
I don't know. Hey, listen, but you know, man, that's funny. I got too many jokes. I'm just gonna move forward.
Yeah, it's like a big pun album when he comes out.
You know what I'm saying? So
whatever the song is, was it 100%? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tony Sunshine. Camacho got to come after that shit. He can't come out to nothing Pacific Island-ish until they just got to give him a moment. I know we've been jumping on Camacho for the past 2 weeks, but just give Camacho a moment, y'all. Let him go over on somebody. Stop letting him be the person that gets his ass beat and take one for the team so Jacob could come out there and save the day. Nah, I don't give a damn who it is. At this point, they could go ahead and give him, what's my man name? Tazawa. Like, just to let him beat up Tazawa at this point.
You get the quick jobber match off.
Yeah, just give him 3 jobber matches, you know what I'm saying, on main event that you could put in a package. Like, that's it. No. He has nothing you could put in a package that makes anybody afraid of him.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, right now.
So until he's not Tonga Loa, he's Camacho. My bad.
Oh man, I forgot. Oh wait, no, I did. I just remembered. Even though, hey, look, Jacob versus Roman would slap. The thing is, though, we got to get Roman versus Solo first.
We ain't got to do shit, but stay black and die, Kemp.
Well, that's true. And my mother definitely told me that in 4th grade. I was like, wait, what? but Camacho was crazy. Shout to Ross. Shout to Shannon for coming in too with the Rican flags. But like, because this faction, this storyline ain't solidifying Solo. So that's the other part of all of this. It's like Solo ain't even solidified in this. He getting his ass beat until Jacob show up. He claimed to be the tribal chief, and all he did was pin Cody in a tag match. He's lost every single Solo opportunity, puns intended, with or without the title. Like, he better beat somebody. What is you tribal chiefing at this point? Like, what is you tribal chiefing at this point when you ain't even winning Solo matches that matter? So, unfortunately, to your point, though, even though Roman versus Jacob, super slap. I think we all want to see that more, absolutely. But we got to get the Solo situation solidified, because even with the kills that Jacob has every single week, there's like this ominous roar, and then there's "we want Roman" chants the minute Solo makes a move. so we gotta do.
You're right. To get that like when Jacob do some shit, everybody be like, God damn. When Solo do some shit, it's "we want Roman." Hey man, we gotta figure this out. Now, yes, Ross Camacho is crazy, man. Just go ahead and trademark that. Hashtag that on Twitter. Hey, hashtag that on Twitter right now. Yeah. So if they look back, you're the first person that used it.
Believe it.
Please do.
And they go to PTO. So when Corey Graves using, you be like, you owe me, bro. Like, you can't do that.
I already got a T-shirt made and everything. I wore that shit on Smackdown.
Oh,
we're good. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that, y'all. We ain't doing that. All right. So now, who could be that person who steps up for Cody? Is his raw friend Jey Uso. He ain't got shit to do so far. Yeah. Right now, if we look at all of the matches for SummerSlam, the one Samoan that's on the roster that ain't got shit to do is Main Event Jey.
Yeah.
So
Main Event Jey Uso right now is stringing together Raw wins and is trying to go Raw in Rhea Ripley. Which, look, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But now that his storyline is like yeet and I'm trying to skeet, like, yo, you need to get a match, bro. Like, what's happening here? What are you about to do? Like, we feel you. We feel you. I want to hit Rhea Ripley too. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you're a superstar, sir. And you need a match for SummerSlam. One of the marquee PLEs of the year and of the company. Like, so I also do believe that because of everything going on, and maybe with the fear of this Cody versus the New Bloodline story getting a little stagnant, that it is in time to pause, insert Jey Uso.
Yeah, and Shannon, the Uso Penitentiary is coming back. It's definitely coming back. I don't want it to come back though.
No.
Main Event Jey makes no sense by getting back in the tag team with his brother. It does not. He's the uncrowned champion right now. I think Shannon is absolutely right. I just think it just wastes everything that we've gotten from Jey Uso since he was open the door. Like, it wastes everything by him getting back in the tag team with his brother. No, fuck them belts. We need him to be a prime spot, and I do think he will be the world heavyweight champion, around next in 2025. I do believe that. Okay. I do believe that his brother has his own shit that he needs to take care of. And maybe we get nobody's bitch Jimmy back.
Yeah. Now, to stick with everything that's on SmackDown exclusively, you know what? The pairing that we haven't seen is Jimmy helping anybody that hasn't been Jey or Roman to a degree. So maybe Jimmy coming to the aid of Cody is the spark that this needs to kind of circle this all around the right way.
And possibly, but I don't need to see the Usos in a tag team match just for special occasions. Like maybe War Games and all that stuff, but I don't need them going up against nobody for a tag team title or anything like that. Now, I know that I said that it feels like early in the show, it feels like we're headed to Jacob and Tama versus Team RKO. That's what it feels like to me, because those are the two people that whooped his ass. They ass. But then that excludes the tag team belts. Now, I'm going to say what I said last week. The tag team belts on SmackDown is non-existent because one person came up in there and whooped everybody's ass. So the smart money would be, let's go ahead and take these belts off of them. Yeah. Or put them in a triple threat match. And then everybody whoop their ass, and then, you figure out who the champion is after that. Yeah. But I don't feel like that's going to happen. I feel like it's going to be Jacob and Tama versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I feel like Camacho will drive them to the arena. So is that, like, what would you rather see? Who would you rather see? Would you rather see a match between the Bloodline and Team RKO? Would you like to see DIY involved and lose their belts? Like, you ain't say win or just be involved, like lose the belts. Like in this case, what is the best case scenario for anybody not Solo?
To be real, it is for them to have the tag titles. Obviously, y'all know it's fuck Johnny Wrestling, right? To the casket drop, right? But the other thing synonymous with the Bloodline was championships. And if we're going to do this, and it's clear that Logan Paul and LA Knight ain't on Jacob Fatu radar. So, you know what I'm saying? So, God bless those brothers as well, right? So, it is only right that, Jacob, Tama, tag titles, and it then has the appeal of, look, winning matters. We accumulating belts. And although, Solo hasn't been a singles champion on the main roster, his quest for going after the world title looks a little greater now that the Bloodline has achieved some gold. But you also do leave the speculation, because I do think this is going to unravel a certain way. Because if Jacob win the tag titles, and I'm really saying him by himself because that's what's going to happen. He could beat DIY by himself and win the tag titles. That's how strong he looks right now. And plus, I think that's just a real life fact. The thing is, one person could be in there and be like, well, he should be the tribal chief. Remember, that's how this started. That's how this started now 4 years ago. The tribal chief spot was with the dude that had the belt and the dudes that get the belts. That's why Alpha and Sika were the original tribal chiefs. They're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. They had tag titles. And then it was Yokozuna. Why is he the tribal chief? Because he was the world heavyweight champion. Like, you got to have a belt. You got to bring a belt to the crib, because the story that we've known it to be, long-form storytelling here, folks, is that the champions are the biggest breadwinners. They put the most food on the table. They make sure everybody is eating. And right now, Solo just directing traffic. So if Jacob Fatu comes in and wins a belt, matter of fact, if he wins 2 belts for the family, it's automatically putting him in the conversation, which I believe is very important. See the difference between this bloodline and last one. So Roman was already the champ. The Usos went and got the other 2 belts. So there was no way for them to maneuver that around. It was like, yo, I'm already the champ. I'm feeding everybody. I'm feeding your family and your family. You want to help me?
In fact,
out?
Roman was like, yo, y'all need to get something.
Yeah. He was like, yo, we eat what we kill. We own our own keep. I'm taking care of everybody right now. But I tell you what, you go out there and win them tag titles, then we got a real conversation. Now we feeding everybody instead of me feeding all of y'all. And what they do, they went out there and won every single title. And that's what mattered. So that's the only reason why I got that DIY versus Jacob Fatu and whoever they decide to put out there over that versus Team RKO, because again, man, enough of these grudge matches that are one-sided anyway. This is like kills. These just kills. These are like online gaming kills. It's like, okay, hey, we see them. Okay, this is done here.
Yeah. Well, if we look at SummerSlam right now, the matches that have been announced, we have Logan Paul and LA Knight, which that took a FIFA pitch. You were right. LA Knight was more interested in winning the United States Championship than winning the Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that happens. We have Bayley versus Nia Jax, who they not only have they been acknowledging that as Bayley has been making sure that it's been seen.
Yes, cheeked up.
Because Smackdown on Friday, yeah.
When it's fat and all black, that's just ungodly.
That was nasty on Friday. That was. Even the wife was like, yo, she got thick. I was like, yeah, that kind of been there, but she just decided like it was time to put that out there. Very much appreciative of that. We got Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. That is official. We're going to get that at SummerSlam. And to stop there, kudos to Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley replaying everything Eddie Guerrero in China.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sometimes not up for rehashes, but nah, I like this.
Yeah.
As long as he don't start, doing all this shit, like just stay heel-ish bad guy, stay with the fat ass mustache. Don't be over there doing this and Mamacita. Yeah. Open the car door for you. Like, nah, just
hey, Dominic ain't that swaggy. He's still Ray's son. He's still Ray's son. He don't got that. He don't got that element of it.
Everybody's catching nails on today's show, and everybody's catching strays too. So yeah, so as long as they're just keep where it's at and all of that stuff too. But Liv, now this is the Liv I like. Now we're here. I forgot to mention that last week, but this Liv right here, hey,
you're on the list.
You shit, and you're rising high. You're rising high. Hey,
so am I.
This is like how outside of the obvious. How do you feeling about Liv Morgan's character currently? And you've already predicted like New Judgment Day ownership is going to be her and Finn. So like, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man. Listen, I really like the. Hey, yo, shout out to Shannon. I'm not sure who you are, but you're on fire today because literally what I was going to say, Liv Morgan reminds me of one of the cool ass, sexy ass white girls from the 90s movies. Like whether it's like Wild Things with like Neve Campbell or whatever the girl's names was, like
Denise
Angela
Richards.
Love, huge tits, like all those girls. She remind me of all those girls from the 90s that it's like, yo, I want to beat.
Wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Angela Love who?
I'm sorry. Jennifer Love Hughes tits.
I mean, Jennifer Love. What?
Y'all know the girls I'm talking about. They was in all the movies. From
I know, yeah. I know what you did last summer.
Yeah, they was like fucking in the pools and all of that. They was out there nipping super hard in the woods. All those girls. That's what Liv Morgan reminds me of. She reminds me of all those girls. And I want to beat all of them. But I love the character. This is some of her best work. Seems very natural. like, yo. And also, you know what? The matches are getting better. The matches are even getting better. Y'all are going to. And here's a spoiler alert. I've already picked some of my. I've already changed some of my predictions. That's actually my guarantee. I guarantee that all my predictions for SummerSlam are about to change. Like quite a few of them, matter of fact. So.
Yeah, I can tell you right now. The only one that ain't changing is Damian Priest and Gunther.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only one that ain't changing.
Well, listen, I want to say this because I don't know if we're going to talk about. We don't have it on the docket, but I'll tell you what. That win against Braun Strowman for Damian Priest, I'm watching it now. I'm watching it. Damian Priest has never looked like that on the main roster.
So I'm glad that you said that because I think that's more of an indictment on what they feel about Braun Strowman than they feel about Damian Priest.
Yes.
I told y'all a couple of years ago, Braun Strowman entering Big Show territory. He's entering big bitch territory. Right? Yeah, Braun Strowman is entering big. I'll never say it in his face, but he entering big bitch territory. And it is, look, The Undertaker ain't shit. Because The Undertaker, I think, alluded to this a couple of weeks ago. The Undertaker said, I think it was on his podcast, they had mentioned Braun Strowman, and he was like, yo, you got to live the character outside of the ring. You can't be on Instagram with Lil Shorts on. Once I heard that, I said, yeah, that's it for Braun. When The Undertaker comes out and say, yo, you can't be out on Instagram, you know, with the Lil Shorts on and shit. Oh, man, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it for Braun. Matter of fact, here's the quote. Right, I just pulled it up. Shouts out to Ringside News for being able to have it. But on his 6 Feet Under podcast, The Undertaker talked about some of his discussions with Braun Strowman. He pointed out an interesting observation. Despite Strowman's formidable presence in the ring, his off-screen persona often contrasts sharply, and went on to accuse Strowman of neglecting his character on social media. This is the quote. He said, "Can't be ready to laugh." Because I ain't get the whole quote right. Certain term that was used. He said, I talked to Braun Strowman several times like, here you are the monster amongst men, and then you look on your social media and you got on Daisy Duke shorts on bunny ears and you're hopping around. Love Braun. But you can't sometimes.
Yeah. Hey, being 6'8", 300 plus and Daisy Dukes and bunny hopping is nuts. Like, that is nuts. No, The Undertaker is absolutely right. Now you add that to that video of him wilding out at that arm wrestling competition and losing. Like, hey, Vince McMahon definitely would have fired you for that.
Oh, you goddamn right.
Like, just like he told Mark Henry, he was like, hey, there's no place for the second world's strongest man. So he was like, so you about to leave? And you about to go do that? Hey, best of blessings to you. But there's no room for the second world's strongest man. There's not room for him. And so,
hey,
I respect that because wrestlers got it hard enough. Pause. They got they're already I mean, look, 3 to 5 decades of everybody thinking what they do is fake, right? Like that people already think it's an act, it's staged, it's scripted, nothing really happens for real. So now you go out into the real world trying to do real things and you don't become number one at it. Yeah, you do kind of got to hold this L when that happens. You better be regular and out the way, like one of the two. So no, the Undertaker is absolutely right on that because that looks nuts. And as the champ, if I don't care if I'm Damian Priest, I don't care if I'm the Speed Champion, I don't care if I'm the Cruiserweight Champion. If I was Cedric Alexander on 205 Live, I'm like, there's no way I'm about to lose to the guy in Daisy Dukes on Instagram. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like that's not in my contract. I don't lose to men and Daisy Dukes. You're out of your mind.
And so, the thing is, the Undertaker said that in June, and you out here losing clean to Damian Priest in July. So, hey, you can't tell me that the Undertaker's words meant something. And the reason why that happened. So, Braun Strowman is very close to big bitch territory.
Yeah, man. Hey, man.
And what I mean,
those 2 week sales, shirt sales, 2 weeks they go up though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he keep the good merch. I got a Braun Strowman shirt. So
yeah, he keep the good merch on him. He keep the good merch on him. But and for those who have not listened to the show and wants to know what I mean by big bitch territory, is that the Big Show should have been the most dominant wrestler in the world.
Mm-hmm.
At 7 foot, 450 pounds, can do drop kicks, all of that shit, is the same man who found themselves getting power bombed and choke slammed and torture wrecked and AA'd. They use Braun Strowman to show the strength of smaller men.
Yeah.
This is the same man that was punching niggas out, but this was the same dude that was crying because he lost his job. They will always find the Big Show in some weird-ass situation where somebody much smaller than him is treating him like a big-ass bitch.
Yeah. Hey, and what did it for me? The final one for me was Stephanie McMahon. I was like, okay, we've gone way too far. When she looked at him in his face with that microphone, beautiful business suit, incredible body if you're asking me. And she was like, oh, what are you going to do? You going to cry? You going to cry? And she just kept slapping the shit out of the Big Show in his face. And then she got angrier the more she kept saying it. And she kept slapping him. And he didn't do nothing. Like, he didn't even reach out and grab her to make Triple H feel like he needed to come out to the ring. She just started hoeing him for 45 seconds. And then started slapping him. And hoeing them some more for another minute. That's when I was like, okay, yeah, the Big Show is done here. Like, he might as well be 5'8". Like, this doesn't mean anything. Hey, and I get it. You want to show range. You don't want to be the average big man. But now, you know what? When it comes to those top 5 big men wrestler list of all time, we got people that are 6'4" and 400 pounds ahead of you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Vader.
Man.
Hey.
And we're going to be talking about, on the latest show, we're going to be talking about specifically Vader on the show. But yeah, that's my, I saw that and I was like, oh. But then I remembered that quote. And I was like, oh. This is him getting hold. This is getting hold. And that's why, yeah, you can't have out here be having Chewbacca cry. Like, the Big Show has a television show on Netflix, fam.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Show. Like,
yeah.
he was trying to be America's dad, my nigga. Like,
yeah.
Nah, Vader went on Boy Meets World and scared the shit out of Corey and Topanga.
You dig? And meant it. And gave Corey some heart.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man.
You can't be a bitch out here being cool with my son. You can't be a bitch out here. The fuck is you talking about?
What I'm saying?
So we got Damian Priest, Gunther, Bayley, Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Cody Rhodes, Solo, Sikoa, and Logan Paul versus LA Knight. All of the single matches are title related. That's
Good
been
card
announced.
too, man.
Yeah.
That's a really good
Cleveland,
card.
y'all got one.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got one. I still. Wait a minute. I just thought about it because I just wanted to make sure I got this right on Wikipedia. They calling Tama and Tonga the Camacho the Tongans.
Well, yeah, they're supposed to be. Yeah.
Like, but that's what they calling them. Like that's they're not calling them Gorillas of Destiny.
Yeah, no, they've been calling them the Tongans pretty consistently, and then Jacob debuted, and then he just kind of like shut all that down. But yeah, their name is the Tongans on
lazy.
SmackDown.
That's lazy, fam. That's like calling the Hurt Business the Blacks. that's like
right. I'm not here to argue, but that's because like I was like, wait,
what the fuck
is they like? Because if you notice, Corey Graves is always saying Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa the Tongans. Like he's always saying like it's like his own tongue twister throughout the show. And I'm like, oh wait, so they not I think he referenced Gorillas of Destiny like twice, but I think it's on accident because I don't believe he was supposed to, and so now he's overusing the Tongans. The Tongans and Jacob Fatu.
Boy, they wild out here.
Yeah.
They better trademark Gorillas of Destiny real quick. Let's just stop. Don't call them the Tongans, fam.
Hey.
Don't do that. Y'all stop that. We won't get back to the 80s, fam. Like, we don't need the Samoan SWAT team name. We don't need none of that. But even though the Samoan SWAT team name was hard.
Yeah, that's hard.
That Samoan SWAT, not the Tongans. Like, put some emphasis on some shit. Make the name dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, even though I don't want to run into a group of Tongans, like, just calling them the Tongans, like, there go the Tongans. Like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all wild.
That's no difference from, the Ricans, they be over there in Spanish Harlem. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. Like, okay. Like, yeah, I get it. The food is good over there, though. So I'm going. Like, like, what?
Nigga needs some mofongo. So I'm just going to go ahead and slide over there and get shot at. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the new version of the Wyatt family, the Wyatt Sick. Mm-hmm. Bo Dallas was called out by Chad Gable, and as we've been expecting for quite some. First of all, let me just say, Bo Dallas is Uncle Howdy. Duh, nigga. Like that. I damn it threw my remote. I was like, I know we acting, but nigga, what the fuck?
What was so funny about that is that he walked around like he figured it out. Like it's super funny for this reason. You know that one person, it don't even have to be a family member. Or whether you were in school, you at the park, no matter what, it's always the one dude that literally tells you exactly what you saw happen, while with the other people that were already there too. It's like, hey, remember when Rodney got knocked out? It's like, yeah, nigga, I was there. Or like, yeah, I did it. Like, you know what I'm saying? or it's like, hey, you know, Trisha baby daddy is Mark. It's like, yeah, dog, you didn't see the Instagram picture? Like, so he was like, oh, I mean, nobody said it, so I thought y'all didn't know. It's like, nah, I just don't want to acknowledge like what we all know. So that's the funny element of it for me, even though it was just like, yo, okay. Yeah, hey. Hey, it is a lot like somebody watching wrestling for the first time. Hey, here it is. Remember how people um, back when he was more active, they'd be like, "Oh, yo, you still watching wrestling? Yeah, man, I love the Undertaker." Yeah, we all do, bro. Like, okay, like, like, yeah, we all love the Undertaker. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's still wrestling. Yeah. Or somebody was like, "Yo, did you see Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania?" Yeah, I yes, it's one of the greatest matches of all time, if not.
Hey man, they hit niggas with the Leonardo DiCaprio gif, like.
All right.
Now but moving on from that though, he gets called. Bo Dallas get called out. The Creeds come whoop his ass. So now we got a heel Creed team with Chad Gable, which we've been waiting on this for quite some time.
Yes.
And they whoop Bo Dallas's ass, but as they're whooping Bo Dallas's ass, he's smiling. He's taking it all in.
Pause.
Right. And we go from there to Smoke. Nikki, Sister Abigail pop up in the ring. The Creeds and Chad Gable run out. All of the members of this faction pop up. Nice little camera shot. Like nice little photo op with Bo Dallas and the rest of the team. I'm very interested how aesthetically this is going to look. Because it wasn't nowhere in hell we was going to get Bo Dallas wrestling in that Uncle Howdy mask or whatever. So I'm really interested to see how aesthetic the team is going to look inside of the ring once they're in competition. And yes, I forgot to mention that the while he was getting whooped was definitely Luke Harper. Brody Lee. So yeah, good shout out to that, Shannon. Good call out to that. But Bubba Ray Dudley, Bully Ray, was talking about this on, and I caught the clip. I didn't get the quote down, but he was talking about this about the Wyatts, and I mean just to simplify it. And I'm trying to pull up the quote now. Here we go. He said this on Busted Open Radio. He said, "Last night was the first night we've seen Bo Dallas. Not Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, the brother of Bray Wyatt, the brother of Wyndham Rotunda. The closest living link the WWE has to Bray. We see him live and in the flesh last night. So reaction. To me, that's concerning." And I, too, was looking at that like, crowd ain't pop like I thought they would. Now, maybe because as soon as he pops out, he gets his ass beat.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally like he walked out, and before he could even get to the crowd piece, he was getting his ass beat. But he continues saying, "I'm concerned about the Wyatt Six once they make their way into the arena. When the lights go out and you hear the noises and you see the smoke, everybody's like, ooh. Especially because this is a new gimmick and you're seeing it for the first time. But we've seen it play through. So it feels like, to me, that Chad Gable and them did do a great job at putting over the Wyatt Six. Like, yo, these niggas scaring the shit out of me. We got to fucking go." Even Jey Uso, when his ass hit the yeet and then ran out, like, fuck that shit. Hit y'all yeet, I'm out. But we talked about on this show about how we felt like the Wyatt character wasn't getting over in the way that we wanted to, or we thought that would happen before Bray Wyatt got sick, disappeared, and then his untimely death. As somebody who's a day one Wyatt, a day one, my fandom goes back to FCW, y'all. Like finding clips of the brothers wrestling tag team champions at FCW. When Bo Dallas, the character, was created, and the Bo Leave thing, and him winning the NXT championship, and was the longest reigning champion. I've always been a fan of Bo. So anytime that I see Bo in a good position, I'm ready. Also, because I am a day one since I was born and started watching wrestling Wyndham fan. Like I'm a Barry Windham Mike Rotunda stan. Not saying this just cause they had I Am a Real American first, Hogan. Just know that shit. They had that shit first, G. You jacked that shit.
Yeah, that's the RNC anthem now, though.
Yeah, Hogan's been a heel, nigga. He took that song and ran with it. Back when you had Eye of the Tiger and shit, they had I Am a Real American. Then they was like, no, we're gonna get that shit to Hogan. And like, fuck you. Like, fuck Hogan. With that being said, I digress, but how are you feeling about this Wyatt Sick? Are you feeling in a way that Bully is feeling, or do you feel differently?
I'm at a crossroads with it because of a lot of different reasons. I'll start by the first, which I do believe the pop was the pop, because for you to debut and get your ass whooped, it's just not good. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, it's character development though at the same time. So I gotta let it cook, right? I don't know if it's Fight Club or if it's just something similar, but like there is a movie character from a movie, and I'm drawing the blank right now, where the dude, the more pain he receives, he starts to laugh, and all of a sudden it works in his favor or something like that. And it's true. I mean, hey, some of the Joker characters have been like that. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's whatever that thing is, that's the character that they're building here. But also, man, they're telling a lot of very emotional stories about a real person that's no longer here, and like they're picking up a torch nobody gave them. You know what I'm saying? If we're just being honest, and that's not a slight, it's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, the other like Rowan's. First of all, Rowan's segment on Raw should have been a documentary. Like,
man,
like that hurt my feelings. Just keeping it a trillion with you, that hurt my feelings hearing them say that, because that's coming from a very real place about Harper and Bray. But saying all that to say, even to what Keith is saying, a lot of the supernatural stuff, it just don't work this era. It just doesn't work. We not like, once the Undertaker joined a biker gang, we off that now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. Once and so you can blame the American badass character if you want, but then all of a sudden there is no need for a Viscera. There is no need for Midian. We don't need I mean, shoot, even that Judgment Day thing, like that was going bad. Like the Brood looked cool, but they weren't quite supernatural, because if you hang out with enough white people, you do run into some white people that like to bite people till bleeding and like blood. So even that is very realistic. When we start playing with the CG and the smoke and the supernatural shit, and all that spirit paranormal activity stuff, as a society, we just off that. So I think that's more of the reaction of like, okay, this just don't move the needle for me, versus the people involved doing a bad job. But they do need to turn this around. And to Shannon's point, I'm still not understanding why Alexa Bliss is not on here, unless she's just not under contract, or she's not healthy enough to compete, or what have you. I really don't know. I haven't.
Yeah, I know she had the baby, and she's back training and stuff.
Awesome.
After having the baby and stuff. So
yeah,
man, I think you hit the nail on the head when you was talking about the supernatural shit. Once the Undertaker came back from the dead, fam, that was a wrap for me. Like, the Undertaker died.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Undertaker died at the Royal Rumble. Like they showed like the light of his spirit, and he went. And the next day, we went to school, and we was like, "Yo, the Undertaker died! Oh shit, that's crazy!" Now all of our older cousins was like, "Nigga, wait till you see the Undertaker come back." You like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Like, Undertaker died, y'all. Then he came back.
Yeah.
That ended all of that supernatural shit to me. It just looked cool in presentations, like the whole thing with Kane doing this and shit. Mm-hmm. Like we seen them miss a couple of times, like he did it, and the lightning didn't strike. Like, but that was after the Undertaker died. Like, whole thing after that, the whole supernatural thing was just done for me.
Yeah. So because even with that, I'm sorry, real quick.
No, you good.
Even with the Ministry of Darkness becoming the corporate ministry, they even leveled it out then. It was less fireworks and just spirit heavy driven things. I just
them niggas just a cult.
Yeah.
At that point, them niggas was just niggas in the cult. Like they was at that point, and let's be real. Hey, let me sit up. Let's be real, fam. The Ministry of Darkness was a whole bunch of jobber or low card niggas that the Undertaker was like, I'm a cult leader. I'm gonna make you better. And they was like, I bet. I ain't got shit else to do. Let me put these shits on my chest like I'm the Acolytes. Or let me run around like Midian, who said he was on acid during the whole Stephanie thing. That Stephanie Angle episode on the podcast.
When they tried to crucify her?
Yeah, that nigga said I was on acid. Like, it's episode of 6 Feet Under. I saw the clip and I was like, oh, see, these niggas was wilding in the 90s. Yeah. But they just a cult of niggas. Like, Viscera was just a big, mean black man. And then when they all left, similar to like when all of the niggas left the Nation of Domination, they all became something else different. Yeah. You had the APA, the Acolyte Protection Agency. Viscera started being a freak man. Median became Naked Median. Like, you know, Undertaker became a biker. Like,
right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So
it's just like, yo, come on, fam.
Yeah, so for people that are young or my age, you probably stopped believing in the supernatural wrestling stuff because the Undertaker and Royal Rumble. If you're a little bit older than us, it's like the Ministry of Darkness was mid-card dudes that the Undertaker brought up under his wing, and then they became something, depending on if you count Naked Median something or Freak Man Viscera something, Big Daddy V. APA was really the ones that was like, yo, we gonna wipe this off our chests to start beating the shit out of people. And it got to a point where legitimately I was scared of the APA, not because we thought they was demons. Nah, because go watch a Clothesline from Hell from Bradshaw. I told y'all at a house show in June 1996 at the Rosemont Horizon, I saw Justin Hulk Bradshaw clothesline the life out of Barry Horowitz. And Barry Horowitz was on the ground for 3 matches getting help. Jeff Jarrett walked down the aisle and looked at him like, damn, G, you straight? Like, Ron Simmons is the inspiration for this podcast.
Believe it.
Yeah, so it worked out, you know, but outside of that, I'm not worried. Like, no, on TNA, they got Pico, Jean-Pierre Lafitte. You know, they had him basically as Frankenstein last night. Like, they really had jumper cables and put that bitch in the casket. And now he Frankenstein yet again. Like, I know that nigga ain't Frankenstein, but I know he'll beat your ass. And that's what I think. What I loved about Bray is even with this Wyatt family stuff, when it started to get a little bit spiritual, in the essence of things, he'll whoop your ass. So to your point, if the first time we see Bo Dallas is him getting his ass beat, I don't give a damn what call out happens. We just saw you get your ass beat. No, we need you to whoop somebody's ass at this point. Mm-hmm. We need you to spear, choke slam, mandible claw, power bomb, Clothesline from hell. Bloody, bludgeoned somebody.
Yeah.
Scare me. Scare me is not getting your ass beaten and be like,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, you still got your ass beat.
Right. Exactly. So, and and like, yeah, they left the arena in disarray or backstage in disarray that couple weeks ago, but we didn't see none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the only person that was resurrected to talk about it was Chad Gable. So, yeah, man, that's the Bully Ray is not wrong in a sense, but yeah, how many debuts do we remember of the dude that got whooped and we was like, oh, I can't wait to see what happened next week?
Like, I don't want to see him get their ass beat. All right, let's move on, man. To speaking of getting their ass beat, Carmelo Hayes has been on the main roster for a couple of months now and has not seen no success.
No,
none. Like, we've seen him do some cool shit.
Oh yeah,
but as far as winning, he's damn near Cedric Alexander at this point.
Man, unfortunately, yeah.
I've been seeing some criticism aimed towards the WWE when it comes to Melo, because Melo didn't miss in NXT. Now he's missing a lot, and they feel like it's dampening the character and it's going to make it hard for him to succeed. Now, mind you, Melo is a Shawn Michaels guy. Yeah. So you would think that if he's a Shawn Michaels guy, he's a Triple H guy. That might not be the case here. Melo is smaller. Like we said, he stood next to Randy Orton, and we was like, yo, Randy looks like a giant.
Yeah.
Compared to him.
Randy Orton what are your thoughts on what you see? He was at the Boys and Girls Club taking pictures when Carmelo Hayes came out there.
What's your thoughts on what we're seeing with Melo, man? Are we too early with the criticism and slander, or are we right on time?
No, we're right on time. It's unfortunate because I knew it was a recipe for disaster when, from what I remember, the two guys that couldn't get a win were about to wrestle. Because remember, Andrade left, and before he left, he couldn't get a win. And now he's back with the new guy that can't get a win. And they both happen to be very recent NXT champions, like dominant and, dare I say, popular NXT champions. Even though I know we live in a different world and wrestling is accepting of all people of all color, shapes, sizes, and genders even now, right? There is something to be said about the WWE, Smackdown and Raw, and the PLEs. And unfortunately, man, as great as Carmelo Hayes genuinely is, he is just too small to be a big star on the main roster. It's just the reality. I don't know his billing, like height, weight, tail of the tape. I'm sorry, I don't know his tail of the tape. But even for Daniel Bryan, it was difficult. But Daniel Bryan wasn't like a high flyer, flashy move guy. So it leveled it out a little bit. When you have a small guy who's always high flying and all that, it's almost like you expect it. Shawn Michaels, we thought Shawn Michaels was a really small guy, but Shawn Michaels is 6'3" and 230 pounds. Like anywhere else in the world, that's big. Pause. And unfortunately, the cameras, we talk about the cameras and those main roster WWE cameras all the time. Those cameras make Carmelo Hayes look miniature, unfortunately. And I think that's kind of the deal. So he has to start winning. But I really don't see how they're going to get it done because he's being dwarfed by everybody that has a title right now on the show that he's on. His best bet is for somebody else on that roster to team up with him, and they take the titles off DIY if Jacob Fatu and whoever they decide to stick out there with him doesn't do it. Because the one person that he will look formidable and opposing against is Fuck Johnny Wrestling.
And see, that's a big thing that I think we need to pay attention to when it comes to that. Now, to pause on this whole segment as we say a lot of stuff, because Kevin Nash came out, it was a quote that came out around Kevin Nash that went viral this week, where Kevin Nash says that he feels like Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit winning the titles at WrestleMania killed the business.
Yeah, I saw that.
He talked about how, like, now you see all of these small dudes winning the titles. Like, are you going, and this is what you're going to? And here's why I disagree with Kevin Nash. If the wrestler at the end of the day is good, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. And it's also about the move set. And Chris Benoit had a power move set.
Yeah.
He just jumped off the top rope and hit his head too many times.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero had a power move set. Those suplexes, the power bombs. Yeah, he would do the lucha shit, but he had power moves in his set. Finn Balor is somebody that I've said on this show is a smaller wrestler, but wrestles big. Mm-hmm. He wrestles big.
Yeah.
So when I hear that, I'm like, I feel you. I feel what you're trying to say. I see where you're going. But nah, and this is an old quote. Like, this is not something that's new. It's an older quote. And matter of fact, I'll read the quote because this is old. It just went viral, it became viral again. He said, when Benoit and Guerrero hugged at the end of WrestleMania 20, that was the end of the business. Has the business been the same since that WrestleMania? Has it come close to the Austin era? Has it come close to the NWO or Hogan era? You put two guys that were great workers, that were the same height as the referees. And I'm sorry, man. Pause, wordy right here. Are you going to watch a porno movie with a guy with a 3-inch member?
Yo.
Even if you're not gay, you will not watch a porn with a guy with a 3-inch member. That's not the standard in porno films. So you put a 5'7" guy as your world champion. Pause on all of that, Kevin.
Super
pause. It's an old ass
bro.
Quote. Super pause. That's wow. That was crazy then, and it's crazy now. However, I don't think he's wrong when you're looking at wrestling and you continue to see smaller wrestlers as the champ.
Yeah.
That's why the Mark Henrys and the Big Shows and the Vaders and all of those wrestlers are important. This is also why I've said on this show that Otis needs to be repackaged as Vader-like.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you need these type of wrestlers. So when you look at Melo, Randy Orton is just not a small guy by any means. Pause. We know this.
Right.
But when he looks that much bigger than Melo, that's when I go, damn, they probably end up treating him in a type of way depending on his moveset.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan's moveset was mat technique.
Yeah.
And I think my thought about this is when you look at wrestling, especially back when we were younger, you had the large wrestlers, you had the Hogans, you had the Ultimate Warriors, you had the mat technicians, which those mat technicians was also classified as the technical wrestlers. Bret Hart was billed as the greatest technical wrestler. Owen Hart wanted to take that away from him. Then you had the brawlers. You didn't have the dudes that flipped around was Owen Hart and the Blue Blazer shit. Like, you didn't have a lot of wrestlers that was just twirling and tumbling and doing a whole bunch of heavy flipping spots.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand where Kevin is coming from if he's talking about Ricochet.
Yeah.
I didn't understand where he was coming from this angle with Chris Benoit and Eddie, other than that they're smaller wrestlers, because Kurt Angle was a smaller wrestler too.
Mm-hmm.
But what did Kurt Angle do? He gave you mat techniques. He gave you power moves and submissions. Then he became Perk Angle and just went crazy on folks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have somebody, and this is not the diss Ricochet, it's just I'm not tuning in to see my champion do that.
Right.
I'm tuning in to see my champion whoop somebody's ass.
Yeah, for sure.
And if Carmelo Hayes is not doing that, if he's just flipping and jumping and there's no power in his moveset, he is going to be left behind, unfortunately.
Yeah. And yeah, you're right. I wanted to search and do some tail of the tape for myself just to see what people are billed at. And they obviously line on the billing because they got Chris Benoit, Carmelo Hayes, and Daniel Bryan all listed as 5'10", but Eddie Guerrero's 5'8". And then you got Shawn Michaels, who I was misquoted on. He's 6'1". Kurt Angle is 6 feet tall. And I believe that billing just because when it is time, when they did face off against a Diesel or an Undertaker, like you could tell it's like, oh wow, that's about a good foot difference in like just in stature. But here is the dilemma. And to a point, yeah, a lot of what Kevin Nash is saying is right. And this is no disrespect to just smaller guys, but wrestling, especially the WWE, let's just talk the WWE. We're not going to talk about like, college wrestling and all of that because the game changes because it really is about skill. But the David versus Goliath matches and storylines were a big part of what made everybody great. Shoot, he billed Hulk Hogan as a David and he was 6'7", and he built up against Andre the Giant. Every time outside of the time when it was Brett versus Shawn, what did he have Shawn Michaels do? Facing everybody that was 6'9" and up. It's just one of the things that is meant to be as far as the WWE billing. So, but now the guys are unfortunately getting smaller. And then when they don't have the heart of a champion and they just have this incredible moveset, incredible athleticism, you be like, yeah, hey, that's dope and that's going to be really effective. But yeah, they shouldn't beat Braun Strowman because at the end of the day, he's 6'8", he's 300 pounds, he should just squash one of them. This is why no matter how we feel about Damian Priest as the champion, whether you feel he's transitioned or he's going to be a 2 or 3 time champion, it's better to have the guy that's 6'8", 6'9", battling for the title, because at the end of the day, when you bring him to a Today Show, when you bring him to Jimmy Kimmel Live or wherever you take him, he's bigger than everybody there. Versus, like, you don't want your champ showing up to Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Kimmel's bigger than him. Like, right. you don't want that aesthetic. Like John Cena, why he was quintessentially perfect as far as stature goes is because he's over 6 feet and he's swole as hell. Like, so no matter even if you can look John Cena in his eyes, you think John Cena still might beat your ass. And that is going back to the point that Bang was making. And this is why cruiserweight titles and mid-card titles and other like divisions are why they matter, why they make sense, and why they do need more love. But at the same time, this is also why 205 Live is hot for a minute, and then we got to move on. So it's all that to say, it's unfortunate for Carmelo Hayes, and this is why we shouldn't look at NXT as being developmental. And this show, First Black Champ Podcast, we've said that for a few years now, but we're seeing the why more than ever as we watch his career take a turn. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and that's why I never minded the Cruiserweight Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I never because when you think about it, not only is a number of smaller wrestlers out there, they're going to give you a match quality for that.
Yeah, for sure.
I just didn't believe that like a Rey Mysterio should have been World Heavyweight Champion. Even though I don't mind it, they're not I'm not. You have to be at a certain level. You have to grow to a certain point in order to be like, all right, like Finn Balor. Like, first glance at Finn Balor, he's your perfect 205 Live Cruiserweight Champion. Mm-hmm. Finn Balor was like, nah, I don't even wrestle like them niggas.
Right.
You go hard over here, fam.
Hey, and low key, I'm taller than some of them, most of them.
Right. Like I'm taking down trees, my G. Like, y'all don't know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all crazy because Finn Balor's listed as 5'11". Mm-hmm. That means Finn Balor my height. Until I see it, I don't believe it.
Right. Facts. That's the thing. I think they patent stats to make it seem like, oh yeah, look at how big wrestlers are. It's like, man, go to a meet and greet.
Right. Yeah. Until I see it, he ain't. Now, if I see it, I'm still gonna be like, but yeah, you 190, G. Like, you small still.
Right. Yeah. Like,
if you was boxing, you would be boxing for the Cruiserweight title. Like, what are we doing here?
Exactly. Yeah,
so
exactly.
I don't mind. That's why I never mind the Cruiserweight Championship. That's why I'm like, yo, the TV Championship is one of my favorite championships. That's why I don't mind the European Championship, because depending on who you are, you will make the belt. The belt won't make you in the first place.
Yep.
There was a reason why I think it was Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander at WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. That was on the pre-show. That was a reason why we still was looking at that match like, ooh, that was a reason why we was looking at Neville, a.k.a. Pac, and being like, yo, because he's another one. Like, when you look at Pac, he's short, but he's stocky as shit. Mm-hmm. So if he does get off a suplex or two, you like, yo, he's swole as hell. Like, I've seen dudes inside deadlift 500 pounds. Why the fuck he can't do this shit here? So
right.
That's
right.
But it's all about moveset and how you carry yourself to me. And I think you also right. You got to stop looking at NXT as a developmental joint. If anything, and this is just real right here, if anything, just since we're so connected with TNA, just buy TNA and make that the developmental program and NXT, or flip it. It don't matter. But that's when I look at this, that's what I see.
Mm-hmm. So. And my last thing. The best thing for Carmelo Hayes right now, I think in this era, he's the perfect television champion. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. He's the perfect mid-card champion in the first place. So I hope that we don't continue to have these types of conversations around him. Mm-hmm. But we'll see what happens. Well, look, man, next week we'll be doing our predictions for SummerSlam. SummerSlam happens on August 3rd in Cleveland, Ohio. I can already expect one of the tag team champions, or both of them, A Plus and Nails, to be there, since Plus is in Cleveland. Hopefully y'all get a suite like I told y'all need to get. Somebody need to go ahead and ante up for that. But since next week is the week before, we're going to give out our predictions of the matches that will be announced. As we had talked about, we already have 5 matches announced: Logan Paul versus LA Knight, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, Bayley versus Nia Jax, Damian Priest versus Gunther. So we'll see. We will officially give out our predictions next week, plus any other matches that may be announced, because Saturday the 3rd, it's going to be a movie out there in Cleveland, Ohio. But with that being said, man, can't bend us off.
All right, man. Hey, listen, man. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all joining the stream today and helping us out with some laughs and some information on this episode. Hey, thank you, man. We over 7 years officially doing this show here. And obviously, Bang and I could do it by ourselves, but all of you contributing to the FBC community with your likes, your comments, your shares, your questions, your facts, your fiction, your ice cream bar list. You know what I'm saying? Your willingness to be masseuses for some of the top talent on the roster, like all of it, everything that you absolutely do to contribute is greatly appreciated. We sincerely and humbly thank you. And we just want to let you know, man, as always, if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. Pick, VP, DOC, and we are out. Yeah. Fuck Johnny Wrestling.